Holy places generally refers to the sites that a religion considers to be of special religious significance. They are usually places visited by pilgrims. Baha'i. Located in Baja near Acre, Israel, the shrine of Baha'u'llah is the most holy place for Baha'is and their Qibla, or direction of prayer. It contains the remains of Baha'u'llah, founder of the Baha'i faith, and is near the spot where he died in the mansion of Baja. The second holiest site is the shrine of the Bab in Haifa. In Iran, the Baha'is possess several important holy sites, including the House of the Bab in Shiraz, the House of Baha, Allah's Father in Tehran, the Shrine and Grave of Qudus. Since the revolution, all these places have been demolished, and a mosque has been built on the site of the Bab's house. Buddhism. Gautama Buddha is said to have identified 4 sites most worthy of pilgrimage for Buddhists, saying that they would produce a feeling of spiritual urgency. These are: Bodh Gaya, India, is the most important religious site and place of pilgrimage. The Mahabodhi temple houses what is believed to be the Bodhi tree where Siddhartha Gautama realized enlightenment and Buddhahood. Kushinagar, India, is where Gautama Buddha attained parinirvana after his death. Lumbini, Nepal, is where Queen Maya gave birth to Prince Siddhartha Gautama. Sarnath, India, is the deer park where Gautama Buddha first taught the Dhamma after realizing enlightenment. In the later commentarial tradition, 4 more sites were added to make 8 great places. Places where a miraculous event is reported to have occurred. Sravasti, place of the twin miracle, showing his supernatural abilities in performance of miracles. Sravasti is also the place where Buddha spent the largest amount of time, being a major city in ancient India. Rajgir, place of the subduing of Nalagiri, the angry elephant, through friendliness. Rajgir was another major city of ancient India. Sankasa, place of the descending to earth from Tusi to heaven. Vaishali, place of receiving an offering of honey from a monkey. Vaishali was the capital of the Vajjian Republic of ancient India. There are various other locations in India and Nepal associated with the Buddha, and there are holy sites located throughout Asia for each Buddhist tradition, for instance in Afghanistan, Cambodia, China, India, Indonesia, Japan, Laos, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, South Korea and Thailand. Lhasa in Tibet contains many culturally significant Tibetan Buddhist sites such as the Potala Palace, Jokang Temple and Norbilinka Palaces. Christianity. In Christianity, the holy places are significant because they are the place of birth, ministry, crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, the Savior or Messiah to Christianity. Holy cities for Christians of all denominations. Jerusalem is believed to be the site of some of Jesus's teaching, the Last Supper, the subsequent institution of the Holy Eucharist as well as his entombment. Christians believe he was crucified on a nearby hill, Golgotha. It contains the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Via Dolorosa, Mount Zion and the Dormition Abbey, and Gethsemane. Bethlehem is the birthplace of Jesus. Nazareth is Jesus' hometown and the site of many holy places, including the Church of the Annunciation and Mary's Well. Qana is where Jesus made his first miracle. During the Crusades, Christian pilgrims often sought out the holy places in the Outremer, especially early in the 12th century immediately after Jerusalem was captured. The holy places included sites in Jerusalem and Bethlehem as well as Sophoria, where the Virgin Mary was said to have spent her childhood. The River Jordan, site of Christ's baptism. Cave dwelling of John the Baptist. Syria, Galilee. Puri, Rameshwaram, Varaka, Badrinath. The 4 Mahakumbh Mela sites: Prayagar, Haridwar, Ujjain, Nashik, Vishnavis, Mathura, Vrindavana, Varaka, Badrinath, Puri, Tirupati, Ayodhya, Nathdwara, Udupi, Shaivites. Varanasi, Kedarnath, Somnath, Rameshwaram, Chidambaram, Kaumaram Thiruthani Murugan Temple, Swami Malai Murugan Temple, Palani Murugan Temple, Paja Mudishole Murugan Temple, Thiruparam Kunram Murugan Temple, Thirushanjur Murugan Temple, Shaktish Kanyakumari, Madurai, Vaishno Devi, Calcutta. Note that there are 51 principal Shakti sites throughout India. Islam. The three holiest sites in Islam are the Masjid al-Haram, or Grand Mosque, the Al-Masjid al-Nabawi, or Prophet's Mosque, and Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Every year millions of Muslims from all over the world visit Masjid al-Haram and Al-Masjid al-Nabawi to perform Hajj. Muslims are also required, if physically able, to undertake a pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in one's life. It is strongly recommended to do it as often as possible, preferably once a year. Only individuals whose financial position and health are severely insufficient are exempt from making Hajj. During this pilgrimage, the Muslims spend 3 to 7 days in worship, performing several strictly defined rituals, most notably circumnavigating the Kaaba among millions of other Muslims and the stoning of the devil at Mina. At the end of the Hajj, the heads of men are shaved, sheep and other halal animals, notably camels, are slaughtered as a ritual sacrifice by bleeding out at the neck according to a strictly prescribed ritual slaughter method similar to the Jewish kashrut. To commemorate the moment when, according to Islamic tradition, Allah replaced Abraham's son Ishmael with a sheep, thereby preventing human sacrifice. The meat from these animals is then distributed locally to needy Muslims, neighbors and relatives. The next two holiest sites in Shia Islam are the Imam Ali Mosque and the Imam Hussein Shrine. Judaism. In Jewish tradition, the Temple Mount is regarded as the place where God chose the divine presence to rest. Jewish tradition regards the mount, or the foundation stone, as the location of a number of important events mentioned in the Bible, including the location from which the world expanded into its present form, Abraham's binding of Isaac, Jacob's dream, the threshing floor which King David purchased from Araunah the Jebusite, and the location of the two Jewish temples. Jewish texts record that the mount will be the site of the third temple, which will be rebuilt with the coming of God. The Temple Mount is the holiest site in Judaism and is the place to which Jews turn during prayer. Due to its extreme sanctity, many Jews will not walk on the mount itself, to avoid unintentionally entering the area where the Holy of Holies stood. The temple is mentioned extensively in Orthodox services. Conservative Judaism mentions the temple and its restoration, but not its sacrifices. The destruction of the temple is mourned on the Jewish fast day of Tisha B'Av. Due to religious restrictions on entering the most sacred areas of the Temple Mount, the Western Wall, the retaining wall of the Temple Mount and remnant of the Second Temple structure, is considered by some rabbinical authorities the holiest accessible site for Jews to pray. Jerusalem is also the holiest city in Judaism, and the spiritual center of the Jewish people since the 10th century BCE. The four holy cities in Jewish tradition are the cities of Jerusalem, Hebron, Tiberias, and Safed. Since the 16th century, the holiness of Palestine, especially for burial, has been almost wholly transferred to four cities: Jerusalem, Hebron, Tiberias, and Safed. Sikhism. Sri Harmandir Sahib, also known as Sri Darbar Sahib or Golden Temple, is named after Hari, the Temple of God. The Sikhs all over the world daily wish to pay visit to Sri Amritsar and to pay obeisance at Sri Harmandir Sahib in their Ardis. Guru Arjan Dev, the fifth Nanak, conceived the idea of creating a central place of worship for the Sikhs, and he himself designed the architecture of Sri Harmandir Sahib. Earlier, the planning to excavate the holy tank was chalked out by Guru Amardis Sahib, the third Nanak, but it was executed by Guru Ram Das Sahib under the supervision of Baba Buddhaji. The land for the site was acquired by the earlier Guru Sahibs on payment or free of cost from the zamindars of native villages. The plan to establish a town settlement was also made. Therefore, the construction work on the Sarovar and the town started simultaneously in 1570. The work on both projects completed in 1577 AD. Guru Arjan Dev Sahib got its foundation laid by a Muslim saint Hazrat Mian Mirji of Lahore on 1 March 1645 Bikmas Samvat. The construction work was directly supervised by Guru Arjan Sahib himself, and he was assisted by the prominent Sikh personalities like Baba Buddha Ji, Bhai Gurdis Ji, Bhai Salo Ji and many other devoted Sikhs. Unlike erecting the structure on the higher level, Guru Arjan Sahib got it built on the lower level, and unlike Hindu temples having only one gate for the entrance and exit, Guru Sahib got it open from 4 sides. Thus he created a symbol of new faith, Sikhism. Guru Sahib made it accessible to every person without any distinction of caste, creed, sex and religion. The building work completed in 1601 AD on Badoon Sudi 1st, 1661 Bikmas Samvat. Guru Arjan Sahib installed newly created Guru Granth Sahib in Sri Harmandir Sahib and appointed Baba Buddha Ji as its first Granthi, i.e., the reader of Guru Granth Sahib. After this event it attained the status of Asarth Tirth. Now the Sikh nation had their own Tirth, a pilgrimage centre. Sri Harmandir Sahib is built on a 67 feet square platform in the centre of the Sarovar. The temple itself is 40.5 feet square. It has a door each on the east, west, north and south. The Darshani Diori stands at the shore end of the causeway. The door frame of the arch is about 10 feet in height and 8 feet 6 inches in breadth. The door panes are decorated with artistic style. It opens onto the causeway or bridge that leads to the main building of Sri Harmandir Sahib. It is 202 feet in length and 21 feet in width. The bridge is connected with the 13 feet wide Pardakshna. It runs round the main shrine and it leads to the Hakipuri. On the first floor of Hakipuri, there is continuous reading of Guru Granth Sahib. The main structure of Sri Harmandir Sahib, functionally as well as technically, is a 3-storied one. The front, which faces the bridge, is decorated with repeated cuspid arches, and the roof of the first floor is at the height of the 26 feet and 9 inches. At the top of the first floor, 4 feet high parapet rises on all the sides, which has also 4 mamtis on the 4 corners, and exactly on the top of the central hall of the main sanctuary rises the 3rd story. It is a small square room and have 3 gates. A regular recitation of Guru Granth Sahib is also held there. On the top of this room stands the low-fluted gumbaz, having lotus petal motif in relief at the base, inverted lotus at the top which supports the Kalash, having a beautiful chhatri at the end. Its architecture represents a unique harmony between the Muslims and the Hindus' way of construction work, and this is considered the best architectural specimens of the world. It is often quoted that this architecture has created an independent Sikh school of architecture in the history of art in India.